Kitty. So welcome everyone. I'm so glad to see you here. It's nice to see everyone today. And do we have any guests? We should introduce our guests. And here's one already on the screen, Mariko Yamada.
Hi, everybody.
Do we have any other guests? Anybody waving? So one guest, thank you. All right, we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I'm sorry, give me a moment.
In a
I
moment.
always forget to bring up the PowerPoint of that.
All right. I pledge allegiance
Allegiance
to the
to
flag
the flag
of the United
of the
States of
United States of
America
America,
and to the
and to the
republic
republic
for which
for
it
which it
stands,
stands,
one
one
nation,
nation,
under God, indivisible,
indivisible,
with liberty
and
and
justice
justice for all.
for all, someday.
And Secretary, do we have a quorum?
Yes.
Thank you. And there's a little note, be sure to pay your dues with the link. Says everyone have a chance to look at the agenda.
Margie, I have a correction. Are we raising hands or how do you want to run this? It's Michelle.
Raising hand is a good idea.
Raising hands, that's what we're doing.
Let's
Okay.
do that. That's what they did at the state party. It means my vice chairs have to be on the ball looking for hands raised.
Okay. Well, this is strange. I'm not really seeing that option this time.
It's
Might have
Under reactions?
under reactions. If you
It's
go
under
to
reactions now. Okay.
yeah. What I think may have happened is sometimes it'll Zoom will update on your computer, so that's how you do it. So your hands raised. Good. I
Yeah,
see
well,
it.
thanks, Tiffany. All
You're
that
welcome.
kind of help is appreciated.
Okay, we'll recognize you.
Jeanette, you're practicing? No, I'm teasing.
Yeah, I think that's Margie supposed to do that. But
Okay.
yeah, I just wanted to say that on the agenda, the committee reports don't list the COVID committee report. Unless I missed it. Maybe I have an old.
I might have left it off. If you hadn't been having a report, you have one this time. I will add that.
Okay.
Madam Chair,
Uh-huh.
I just realized I hadn't launched the sign-in poll. Should I do that now? Just so we get a quick glance at who else here,
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
like the sign-in page that we used to do. Okay. Give me a moment.
Everybody signed in?
Margie, Michelle Pellegrin's hand is back up. Did you have a question, Michelle?
Michelle, you're on mute.
Yeah, it may be too late to add this, but I just found out that I was given the wrong ballot and I was listed as being in District 15 instead of 14. And I had emailed the KDEMs and they never changed that. So I need to know if that can be added to the agenda or if it's too late.
I'm not following. You were added as,
For my ballot for the elections. KDEM
Margie,
election-
were you trying to reach me? Did you have a question for me?
no, Michelle Pellegrin.
Uh-uh.
Question.
So,
You have a question for me?
What's all this in the background? Please mute if you're not talking yet.
Nolan, that it was for Margie.
Okay, am I
Okay.
on now or what's going on? Margie?
Yeah, so your ballot,
you have a question about the convention?
Right, and my ballot was incorrect. I was listed as being in District 15 instead of 14, and so I did not have the correct items to vote on. So I'd like to put that in there for discussion because I'd like to know.
You can take that directly to the state party. There's nothing we can do here.
I know, but I would like to still have it discussed in case there were other people who that occurred.
Oh,
You know, should there be a response? What I'm guessing is, or what I'm saying is, should the committee have a response to the Democratic Central Party about this? In other words, how prevalent was it? How extensive?
okay. Well, I actually had the convention on new business and then I took it off, but we could add that back under new business convention. There may be other things that came up. So C, convention. Okay, any other changes to the agenda?
Don, your hand's up. Is that for the agenda?
Yes.
Don?
I have a question. Are we expecting oral reports for everything listed under item 4? Because I count over 30 reports.
Yeah, well, not everybody will give a
That's-
report, but I think they should be given an opportunity to give a report.
And then I move to amend the agenda so that items C and D are in writing only.
Um,
And I will second. Kevin,
okay,
We're gonna have to vote on this agenda and we may have to divide the question.
That's what I'm wondering, if we could vote on this separately.
that's what we have to do. Dawn and
Okay,
Michelle.
any other changes?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Dawn and Michelle, do you guys have anything further? Your hands are still up. Just want to make sure.
No, I don't. I lowered my hand, I thought.
It's okay, I'll lower it. Thanks.
Okay, that time it did it, Tiffany.
I don't see any
Okay.
other hands up.
Okay, so,
Marge.
So how do you want the poll structured?
could we vote on Don's proposal? So we did have these reports in writing in the last few meetings and there were complaints.
Margie, let's just
So-
not have the big discussion. The 2 poll items are the 2 items that were asked to be put on the agenda.
And could you repeat the motion? There's a question in the chat. Please repeat the motion.
The motion, there are 2 separate motions that are coming before you. One, to not read whatever Don's motion was, and the second one was by Michelle to talk about the convention. Are those the 2 items that wanted to be added to the agenda, Margie?
Those are the two, yes.
Okay, so 2 separate polls.
Okay, so what was the What was Don's
Don's
motion?
motion. Was yours Don's motion?
Items 4C
Yeah, Emily-
and 4D be in writing only.
Emily, were you trying to raise your hand to have Dawn restate? Because I just saw what you sent in the chat. Was that for
Yeah,
you,
that's-
Emily? Okay, perfect. Thank you. Got it. Michelle, did you need
Yeah.
something?
Yeah, I just want to be clear on what we're doing. I understand that we need a motion for what Dawn suggested, but mine, Marjorie just said she was going to add it back into the agenda that she'd taken it out. So I don't think that that needs an emotion, a motion. That was the chair's decision. I just want to get
It's a-
clear.
Yeah, it's still an amendment to the agenda that's presented, so we still need to take a vote on it. She's
So
gonna
are
add it
we,
back. Still have to do it. We still have to do it.
so are we amending the agenda first to remove the written report issue, which is what Don wanted?
Yeah, that's what we're
Right.
voting on first.
I was helping someone on the phone, so I was not paying attention.
No worries,
Okay.
thank you. Yeah, that's it. And then the second one will be the addition under the Kadim report for Michelle's inquiry regarding the districts. Now be discussed.
Okay, and so
That new
Well,
business,
I was just going to add back in convention discussion as in new business. So,
Okay, so add convention discussion, Tom, that would be the second poll.
okay, so the first one is to remove the need for a written report for club and officer reports. Or,
no,
I'm sorry, I missed it.
no, he wants written only, like we've been doing in the past.
That's a bylaw change. That's a bylaw change. I mean, we need to, can we have the parliamentarian look at the bylaws and tell us what the bylaws say?
It has been the officer's discretion in the past whether to have them in writing or orally, and with 30 reports, we're going to be here all night.
Okay, but if it's at the officers or the person giving the report's discretion, then I think you just got your answer. It's at our discretion. I know I'm giving an oral report for Stonewall. So, I mean, if we were meeting in person, we would give oral reports. But, so what is this motion that I'm putting into this poll?
The motion is
Right.
for Don, and we have to vote on it, so if it fails, it fails. Don would like to have items, I'm sorry, Don, I didn't write it down. If you
I
can
have it.
repeat it real quick. Or who has it? You have it, Jeanette?
Yeah, so
Okay.
the motion made was under reports 4C and D to be made in writing only, not given oral reports at tonight's meeting, made by Don, seconded by Kevin. So if that passes, then we have just, those reports would be whoever submitted written ones, and we wouldn't have oral reports. So as a time-saving measure. So that's the vote.
Okay. And the next one?
The
Well,
next
the
one is
next
to
one is-
add, yeah. If we vote on it, it's going to be to add convention under new business so that we can discuss this issue with Michelle's wrong thing, which is really not ours, but it's, because I just for your information, Michelle, I looked on the report, the roster, and your correct number was submitted to the state party. So I think it was just a mistake on their part, but.
Like a typo, maybe. But we'll
Well,
add it.
I still think it should be discussed because, well, I would like to discuss it. I'm worried how prevalent it was. I sent them a message before the ballots went out and I still got the wrong ballot. I'm doubting that it's just me. So, but as Margie, so anyway, we can just vote on it.
Yeah,
That's all. That's fine.
Okay, so this is agenda update, and then are we gonna also do a agenda acceptance or?
Agenda
is
as
part of it.
amended, yeah, if
Yeah,
it gets
okay.
yeah,
amended.
agenda.
All right, so this is to amend the agenda.
Margie, my hand's up, I think.
Oh, I thought it was from the last time. Michelle's hand is up. I thought it was up from before.
Michelle.
Motions that we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm not, I'd like to make a friendly amendment to the first, to Don's motion, which would be that if a club president wanted to give an oral report, there might be something imminent they need to speak about, that they be allowed to do that, that it doesn't just have to be all written with no oral presentation.
Well, we do have announcements later, so if they have an announcement about their club, they actually have that spot.
Madam Chair, I would like to move the agenda. We have items that we need to vote on, and like we've all seen, we have a very, very long agenda to get through. Yeah.
So you're calling the question?
Absolutely am. Sorry, I called a question. We need to move this along. We've spent 17, 20 minutes on trying to figure out how we're going to approve an agenda. I like all the amendments. I think it's great, but let's get the poll going so that we can vote and then move forward.
Okay, shall I launch the poll,
Yes.
Madam Chair? I will cut it off in 20 seconds, so please vote. Poll. And the first one fails, second one passes. Okay.
Okay, so now I move that we approve the agenda as amended.
I second.
Okay, here it comes.
Jeanette's hand is up.
Yes,
You're on.
Jeanette.
Just for the notes, I wanted to say, so if Michelle made the motion to add it, we would need a second for that motion. So is there some, I guess whoever said, let's do it, who's the second?
I'll second, even though there hasn't been a second, or if you said there wasn't one.
Who is that that's speaking?
This is Pat Toast Smith.
Okay, thanks. I'll put that, I'll just for the record, so I have a second. Okay, thanks.
I don't see any other hands up at this time.
Chair, shall I launch?
Yeah, launch the poll.
Agenda as amended. Oh, hold on. think we have, everyone has voted. All right. Passes.
Okay.
Get this party started.
Agenda's been approved. Has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes?
Move the approval of the minutes as submitted.
Second,
Launch
shall I
the
launch
poll.
the poll?
I had a comment I wanted to make. The,
Leilani,
Oh, what is it?
is that
Oh.
Leilani?
yes,
That is
Okay,
hand
hold
up.
on. So Leilani, you're recognized.
thank you. The email that we received, it was the minutes for April 22nd, 2020. I'm sorry I didn't catch it sooner to send an email about it, but I don't have recent minutes for the April 2021 meeting.
Leilani, can you clarify what you mean by decent minutes?
The
Received
minutes
them?
that
There
we
was
rec-
something missing? What's up?
The minutes that I received on the email dated May 23rd has minutes from April 22nd, 2020. So it's not from this year.
Oh,
And I apologize for not catching it sooner and sending an email. I just saw it today.
Leilani gets the prize.
all right. Well, we'll,
So the correction is the date. Is that what you're asking, is saying, Leilani?
No, the minutes are from actions taken last year.
Yeah, the date, it's not just the date, all the minutes are from a year ago.
Wow.
Okay. Then I move that we postpone the minutes until, what is this, April, this is May, till the June meeting so that they can be sent out. The correct minutes.
Okay, I second.
Postpone the minutes. That's
postpone the
new goal.
minutes. It's been moved and seconded.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Jeanette.
So
Turn your
I
mic
just
on.
clicked on the wrong ones. I'll send the right ones tomorrow, and I guess we'll just have to work on it in next month's meeting. Then I'll send two, but I'll send them out. So it was just a mistake on my part.
Good catch, Leilani. We, Jeanette, your hand is up. No. Okay.
Vice Chair.
Watching the poll? Are you writing a poll?
Yeah, I had to write it.
Okay.
All right.
You shouldn't have to vote on that.
Jeanette, just a couple of marks for attendance. So Anna Patero is here for Monica. And then also Steve Quinlan is in the house. Okay,
Okay.
they sent it as private messages, but I wanted to make sure you knew. So folks, if you get here and you send a message to the host, it doesn't go to Jeanette, please send it to her. Or send it to the open chat or to her directly.
Okay. So how did the poll come out, Thomas? Okay.
Voted to postpone.
Until next month. Okay, so we're moving on to public comment. So is there
Hold on.
who'd
Public
like to make
comment
a
being
public
open.
comment?
What time is
Madam-
public? I'm trying to look at my phone. I have public comment starting at 7:26. It will end at 7:56. We have 30 minutes. You have 2 minutes to speak. And I am timing. So whoever you want to recognize.
Madam Chair, Moriko Yamada has her hand up.
Okay, Mariko.
Hi. So ready?
Yes.
Well,
We
thank
will
you
start
very much. Good evening, Chair Olson and members. Thank you all for your continuing service to the Democratic Party. It's been particularly challenging, I know, during these pandemic times. But my name is Mariko Yamada. I'm a retired social worker, reside in Davis, and had the privilege of representing most of Solano during my time, first 4 years in the Assembly, and just got to keep Dixon at the last 2 years. But I'm here tonight to speak in favor of an item under new business for you tonight, item 6A, Assembly Bill 279. It's a resolution supporting this bill that was co-authored by Assembly members Almerta Tsuchi and Miguel Santiago from Southern California. AB 279 is urgency legislation needed to protect vulnerable seniors in long-term care settings from non-medically necessary transfers or evictions during the COVID-19 emergency period. The California Department of Public Health has already issued over 200 citations for dangerous patient movements during this time. And as we speak, the residents of the Sakura Intermediate Care Facility, which is located in Boyle Heights, a neighborhood located near Los Angeles's historic Little Tokyo. They are being threatened with eviction as early as the middle of July without safe and culturally sensitive alternatives, just so that the property owners can build market rate apartments. AB 279 recently passed the Assembly floor and earned the support of 2 of the 3 Assembly members representing Solano, Assembly member Cecilia Aguiar Curry and Assembly member Tim Grayson. The bill is now in Senate Health, and if we are fortunate enough to get to the Senate floor, Bill Dodd will have a vote. So I hope that you will consider supporting AB 279 tonight, and I appreciate this opportunity to speak. Thank you. Sorry about the time.
No, you're fine. Just some good news for you. The California State Democratic Party already supported that bill. And so please go forth and say, as a member of the Central Committee, our party is supporting this, and that would be a great opportunity. So that bill has passed the party has its full
it passed on consent, I understand, or at convention. But I think each Central Committee, if I'm not mistaken, still has an opportunity to add on.
It's passed by the party, but as the party has supported it, I would encourage members to be able to lobby with that as part of their testimony that the state party has already endorsed this, and whoever their assembly person is, if has also supported that. So thank you for coming to share that. But yes,
thank you very much, Ms. Henley. Thank you.
Do we have any other public comments?
Yes, Russ Gall.
Yeah, Madam Chair, there's 2, Russell Kayanyang and then Michelle Pellegrin.
Okay. Ruskal?
Can I ask a question,
Yes.
Margie, about what Yumiko was talking about?
Well, we are going to discuss this later in the agenda, and we don't normally have questions during public comment.
Okay, great. Very good. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep.
Good evening, Chair and members. My name is Rusko Kayangyang, Assembly District 14 delegate. I also work with former Assembly member Mariko Yamada. We're a part of the statewide coalition Save Our Seniors. I also rise in support with Ms. Yamada to speak in favor of what's on your agenda tonight, supporting AB 279. From our research in Solano County, we have dozens of senior care facilities with thousands of seniors. Seniors living in nursing homes have been the most vulnerable to COVID. They accounted for almost half the deaths due to COVID in the early months of the pandemic. According to articles from the New York Times and LA Times, nursing homes in this state have been dumping thousands of seniors and residents in homeless shelters and unsafe facilities. If this issue can happen in our backyard, it can happen anywhere. just to echo Ms. Yamada's points, we respectfully ask your support for AB 279. City councils such as Richmond and Berkeley will be voting on a resolution supporting the bill. Thank you for your time and respectfully ask for an aye vote. Thank you.
Margie, you're on mute.
Other public comment? Okay,
I don't see any hands.
so we're going to move on to reports.
Okay, stop. We need to close public comment at 7:32.
Okay. Public comment is closed. We're moving to reports.
Go. Thanks you, Margie. It's a long night.
So, well, what I want to say is kind of relevant to the mistaken minutes that came is that it's been a year since we all started as a group on the Central Committee, and congratulations to everyone. And I think we've gotten a little better as we go along. And I would like to see everyone get really involved. So I am going to be calling everyone to just find out how you feel about after 1 year, where we're going and what you'd like to see. So other officers, vice chairs, do you have reports? Northern Chair?
Yes, I just want to remind our members that we are gearing up for the awards event come October. I think it's the first weekend in October was the date the committee decided. So identify who you want to be recognized in the clubs. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Southern Vice Chair?
My report will be along with the committee report, Madam Chair.
Okay. Treasurer? Morgan?
Yes, hello. So I put in a written report, but like I had said in there, we're still waiting for employer and occupation info for the Rally Up winners. And also, it's my understanding from the chair that there will be a leeway for dues payments. She wanted me to make sure that was mentioned to everybody. So you have until the 30th, as I understand it, to get your dues in. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Secretary?
I will just say I was working on all the reports and I thought I'd lost the minutes for the thing after I typed them all. And then I thought, oh no, I found them. So I probably did lose what I had and sent the link. So I'll have to see if I can find the other ones. And I will not be here at the June meeting. So I would like someone to step in and be the secretary and have the notes for that next meeting. But I will have the report sent out because I'm not going to be leaving until like Tuesday or something. So that's my report.
Madam Chair,
Yeah.
if I could remind the secretary, we actually record this, so you could watch it.
I told my husband that, and I said, I hope no one thinks of that. So thank you, Tom Bilbo.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, Tom Bilbo, do you have a report? Information Resource Officer?
Just a brief statement, and sorry, Morgan, I will get you that info because we did collect it on the winners. And then I think I did respond to your email about the classification for the donations. Anyway, so, but the other thing that I wanted to tell everyone is that this Zoom meeting is going to be canceled because we now have like 128 people registered for it. So you're going to all be re-registered for the new meeting that I set up, and it's going to be different so that we can definitely know who are members of the committee versus who are not. So you will be registered for it. So just look for an email from, it'll say Solano Democrats, but the email address will be Zoom something. And it will say your monthly, or the monthly meeting for the Solano Democratic Committee. That's just something because we need to clean out some of the people who have registered. And instead of going through 128 names, we'll just start from fresh, since it's been a year since we started this, and move on.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Jeanette?
Parliamentarian, you have a report?
There's a
Oh, you have
question.
more? Sorry, excuse me.
Question, Jeanette?
So do you anticipate sending out that link like right before the June meeting, or are you going to send it out shortly?
I'll send it out before the June meeting. So, and then I'll give you the a link as well, because it will be a recurring link that will be steady state, and we'll just go like that. So I'll make sure the secretary has that and everything else. But yeah, and that way we can know who are voting members versus just the public. So, okay, any other questions? But you all have been getting an email the day of the meeting at around 3 or 4 o'clock in that time frame that I generate from the system. So please add Solano Democrats as your as a friendly domain. Okay.
Okay, thank you. All right, parliamentarian, Annette.
Yes, good evening, everyone. Just a couple of things. And I want to thank Morgan for reminding you, but the dues in our new bylaws say that if you haven't paid your dues by the deadline, which I believe is May 30th, May 31st.
The deadline actually was April 30th, and we were giving a grace period till the end of May.
Okay, so May 31st, on June 1st, you are no longer considered an active member of the Central Committee, and your voting rights are revoked until that time. That is in the bylaws. We voted for that 6 months ago now, I believe. I'm not sure if the updated bylaws are on the website, but you can look there for that. And the other thing is the bylaws committee has several items that we still need to meet on. I'm 8 days from retirement, so hopefully in June. And I don't want to conflict. I think it's the United Dems and Paula. So Paula, I'll give you a call and we'll set up another meeting probably around the 17th of June. I think it's the 14th or the 21st of June. We'll try to have another meeting to try to get some other things cleared up. All right, so that's it.
Yes, really quick. I see there's some questions that Pat put in the chat. How do we find out if our dues are paid? So I don't know if Morgan wants to go and answer that question for Pat.
Jeanette published a list, I thought.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So this past week, I sent a BCC out to people who I had not gotten their dues from. Since that time, several people had gotten their dues. So if you did not get an email from me in the past week saying you need to pay your dues, here's the link, then you should have your dues paid.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving on to.
Madam Chair. Lynette, just on the bylaws, did you send me a copy? Did I miss that?
No, you wrote the copy. That's
well, no, but I thought you were going to send me a wholesale document to publish.
Oh, I can do that.
I'd rather that way it's by your hand and.
Okay, no problem. I'll
yeah,
do
and then
that.
I can post that
I
file.
will send it to you by Friday.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Congressional report. Do we have one from Thompson or Garamendi?
Don't see anybody.
Okay, Senate. Does Dodge representative have a report tonight?
Deborah.
Okay. Assembly, Grayson, Aguiar, Curry, or Frazier. Do we have a report?
No report for Fraser this evening.
No report for Assemblyman Grayson either.
Okay. All right, Solano supervisors, Brown and Hannigan. I
Report,
know.
sorry, from Brown.
Okay. Go ahead, Brown, for Brown.
No report from
Oh,
Brown.
no report. Okay. I'm sorry. I thought you said you had one. Okay. And no report from Hannigan? So do we have a report from elected officials in Benicia?
Sure. At the council meeting last night, the council approved the flying of the pride flag at City Hall for the entire month of June. And we also allocated money from our Measure C program, which has sort of been a lifeline for the city. It's a 1% permanent sales tax that the voters approved in 2014. And since 2015 through 2023, it's projected to generate $45 million, which is really a huge thing for the city, and represents maybe over that period 10% of general fund revenue. And we spend most of it on half of it on operations and the other half mostly on streets, but also some parks and public safety stuff. So that was good. We had to cancel the 4th of July parade, got a lot of pushback and heat for doing that, but it was consistent with what the state is saying about mega events as they describe them. And we're starting to work on some major rezoning issues connected to the RENA process and affordable housing. So I'll stop there.
Okay. Thank you. A report from Vacaville? Any city council? No?
No, not really.
Okay, Fairfield, any city council or? Vallejo?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes. Oh, Travis.
Hey, it's Manveer.
Yes, thank you.
The one thing I can share, Vanden and Tech will be having an in-person graduation. Each graduate was allowed up to 2 people. And over the summer, we'll have summer classes going on for students and classes for Cyber High for the students who need it. Those are the few big things that I wanted to share.
Okay, well, thank you. All right. Vallejo? Sassoon?
John Fox was going to, hold on, you're moving too fast. John Fox would like to speak.
Hello, John Fox with Vallejo City Unified School District trustee. Just a few things to talk about. In Vallejo, we will be having graduations come up. We're very excited. They will be in person this year. We're going to be doing 2 events though for each high school to make it less crowded, and we'll have about 2 tickets each per student. We're also doing our next installment of Measure S bond and all those improvements as well. The board just had a retreat meeting with Deborah Keys Wright, working together. And we had our last equity workshop with Nicole Anderson and Deborah Keys Wright. The equity workshop was incredible. We had a series of 3, and we're looking to continue the equity workshop. That was through the Solano County Board of Educators. And I'm glad Vallejo and other school districts in the county participated. It was a wonderful retreat. Also, we're working hard on summer programs for summer school and intervention and ways to help with our students to try to get them caught up from COVID. And also in Vallejo, we'll be doing a Pride resolution on June 2nd, Wednesday. And on the 3rd, Thursday the 3rd at 12:30, we'll be raising the Pride flag if you wish to attend. 12:30 on Thursday the 3rd. Thank you. That's my report.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any other city reports, school board or city council? Sassoon, Dixon, Rio Vista.
Fairfield Sassoon Unified School District voted to censure Ana Patero last Thursday. That's the latest from Fairfield Sassoon Unified School District. There was a 24-hour notice that stated the time, but it didn't state the place, nor did it state what it was for. So we all found out about it on Thursday morning Wednesday morning during the Wednesday morning when we opened the paper, and the meeting was that afternoon at noon. So that's what's happening on the Fairfield Sassoon Unified School District Governing Board. They don't like the fact that that I'm asking questions, and so that's where we are, people.
Oh, thanks.
You are welcome.
Okay, any other city reports? Okay, we're going to move on to club.
I actually had a report.
Oh, sorry. What?
Yeah. Can you hear me? I actually had something to report.
As a city report?
Hold on.
Yeah,
Is this a club report? Is that where we are, Margie?
Well, we were doing elected officials, so
We're doing elected officials.
Oh, some elected officials? Okay. I'll have to wait
so
on
we're
it.
moving to clubs now. So
You're right on time. You want to go first, Matthew?
Yeah, I guess I don't mind.
Okay. You're up.
So we decided that month the Jewish Dems was going to have an e-board meeting. It was very productive. We were taking care of some issues with our bylaws. We also nominated someone to select our board of directors. So we're excited because this will help us to expand our efforts in the future. In addition, Representative Mike Thompson has agreed to come to a special meeting that we're going to hold for him on Tuesday, the 8th. We'll have that invitation sent out to everybody by tomorrow night. We just finalized today. So we're looking forward to hearing from him, supporting him, and having his support in return.
okay, thank you. Community Democratic Club? Do you have a report, written report, I guess? Okay, Northern Solano Democratic Club?
Written report was submitted.
Progressive Democrats of Benicia?
Hi, this is Carrie. I did not submit my written report. I will keep it very short in honor of Dawn. We had a meeting to discuss climate change. We had Maggie Kolk, who's my alternate here. She's a recent Al Gore climate leadership graduate. She stated the problems, the very real science behind climate change. Dr. Bonnie Hamilton joined us. She talked about solutions and the way to save our planet. And then I followed up with how we need to take local action, elect the right people that believe in climate change at every level. Next month, we're going to talk about affordable housing. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question for Progressive Dems. My hand is up. I don't know.
But we were going to call on you, but you just started
Okay.
talking.
Carrie, I have a question. You guys brought to us about the marsh. Where are things going on there? I sent a letter. I mean, you guys asked to have people send stuff to the Sierra Club, and I did that. But where are we right now on that?
It's not a very transparent process because it's the Army Corps of Engineers. But you know what? I can dig around and send Jeanette a update that we can share with the club.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you. Rio Vista Democratic Club?
Yes, hi. The Rio Vista Democratic Club held their membership and chat meeting on Wednesday, May 12th. At that meeting, elections for the RVDC Executive Board officers were held, and members welcomed special guest speaker John Mazer, our newly appointed police chief of Rio Vista. The board Board elections are as follows. Emily Gollinger, chairperson, Elaine Schaefer, vice chair, Tina Arnold, newsletter, Mona Whitney, recording secretary, and Andrea Bridges, treasurer. And we had a special guest speaker, the police chief, John Mazer, chairperson-elect and moderator Emily Gollinger. Welcome Chief John Mazer, newly appointed police chief of Rio Vista. He talked about the membership. He talked to the membership regarding recent topical issues concerning state policing, use of force policies, AB 392, deadly force and no-knock warrants, as well as Congress's proposed George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, which prohibits discriminatory profiling and mandates training. In addition, he outlined the department's new hire screening and training practices. He shared his vision and future plans for the RBPD, which establishes community outreach services such as a Citizens Academy, Teen Cadet Program, and a departmental peer support program. He also wants to improve the department's dispatch center, as well as create a crisis negotiation team and a cooperative unit to investigate solutions to the city's homeless. Thank you.
Thank you, Mona. Solano Democratic Workers Alliance.
Good evening, everyone. We met on Monday, the 24th, I believe that was, forgive me. And we discussed our bylaws for our board elections coming up, and that was it.
Okay, thank you. Stonewall Democratic Club of Solano County.
Yes, hi. We are meeting tomorrow night, and we are going to have the Benicia Black Lives Matter people to speak. Two of their officers are coming. We are also going to be considering or voting on endorsing or supporting the Stop the Recall with the California Democratic Party to show our solidarity and to keep our governor. And we will also be talking about Pride activities, of which I can report we have at least some acknowledgement of Pride Month from all the cities this year in Solano County, saving one, which we have not heard from Sassoon. So we're hoping that we will hear from Sassoon soon. We have sent emails to Mayor Wilson and also Wanda, who I think is, I don't see her here tonight, but we are also giving all of the, along with Solano Pride, we're giving all of the cities in Solano County, as well as any school board that wants them, and also the county government, a brand new flag that shows all the inclusive colors. So it represents our Black and Brown community members, as well as our transgender community members, all in one flag that will show our support, love, and devotion to inclusion here in Solano County. And so that's it.
Okay, thank you. United Democrats of South Solano, Southern Solano.
Our report was what we submitted in writing.
Okay, thank you. So we'll move to committee reports. Bylaw committee, do you have any update, Lynette?
Oh, shoot. Sorry, I was on mute. Nothing to report. Sorry about that.
Okay, thank you. Club coordination, Jeannie and Mona.
We've had our, I'm sorry. I don't know if Mona was already starting to speak. We actually have not agreed who was going to actually make the presentation. Anyway, we met on Monday night. We are working our way through the handbook that we are adapting to best meet the needs of the Solano County Democratic Central Committee.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your hard work. I know they'd like some help, so be sure to join if you are a club president. Code of Conduct Committee, Leilani.
The Code of Conduct Committee met and found a code of conduct, I think out of Washington State, that we were going to use as kind of the example that we want to reframe the code of conduct draft that we have as. So it's just lots of revision that we've been doing and still doing test case scenarios. Just make sure that we're covering the bases that we want to cover or we need to cover on a code of conduct. So our next meeting will be the first Monday of June. I think that's going to be June 8th. So, or June 7th, excuse me, at 6 p.m. So if anyone wants to join, feel free, help us out. Thank you.
Okay, fundraiser committee.
That
Renelle
would,
and Tiffany.
yeah, that would be me. I'll go ahead and give the report. So I just wanted to quickly, again, say on behalf of the fundraising committee, thank you all for participating in our Rally Up virtual fundraiser. It was a success. And I'm going to go ahead and share the screen because we did promise you guys a report out regarding the expenses. Hopefully everybody can see the screen that I am sharing. Again, thank you to the committee for your hard work in getting this off the ground. So as you can see, we did incur some expenses. We did a Facebook ad. We had to do an extra account for our Zoom. And then of course the Act Blue did get some fees. And then we did, as a committee, agree to give Dr. Janaea Bryce an honorarium of $200. So we spent $472, obviously, out of the $600 that the Central Committee allowed us to use. We had a lot of ticket sales. I do want to kind of highlight the local leader. Thank you, Dr. Hamilton, for including that part. That was a big, big boost to our ticket sales. And so those local leaders got recognized. And I think we should definitely keep that as a portion of where people can continue to donate to our various causes. And then we obviously had a donation of $80. Our auction sales were very, very good for our first time, kind of trying out that platform. It took almost $200 in fees. Again, we had some sponsorships come in from Garamendi, Better Health Group, and CTA. Thank you all very much. So we had a total income of $8,355 minus the $472, which gives us $782.99 that we have in the bank. We also just wanted to kind of share with everybody, we're still working on getting some of the auction items to our various purchasers. So be on the lookout for all of that. And did you have anything you wanted to add, Vernile?
No, just thanks everyone for their support. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, and it was a really good event. Thank you, Chair, fundraiser chair, and fundraiser committee members for all you did. Okay.
Have I stopped sharing?
You can go to the top where it says stop share up top, the red button.
Okay, I was like, let me stop sharing. All right. Lynette, your hand is up.
Thank you. Yes, congratulations to the fundraising committee. My question is, how much did we make previously on the crab feed? Around-ish?
Well, I think it was around 10,000.
Yeah, about 10,000, yes.
Well, I just want to commend you because I didn't have to roll up any paper or dump any trash or make sure that the crab got to the table that got forgotten. So thank you. This was way easier. The only thing I do miss are my barbells. I love my little barbells. So, but other than that, I commend you. So in COVID, we did a great fundraiser and still did, and just less than 3,000. So that's perfect. Since I have the floor, I had a question for the awards committee. Could you do a flyer of some sort, or at least to outline the awards so that we can send them out to the clubs so that we can start getting people thinking about submitting names and at least have the criteria. So I just want to put that to my two chairs that are going to be doing that. That was it. Thank you.
Just to answer your question, that'll be more than likely happening towards the end of June. We just need a break to kind of recoup from from rally. We are all rallied up and we are tired and just want to take a little bit of time and pause and reflect. So yeah, we'll definitely put something out. I saw Tom's hand and then Dawn's.
Okay, so I just wanted to make one clarification in the income statement. The fees that were listed for the auction items, they're listed as in kind because we asked for the people who were bidding to pay the fees, so that way we got the entire chunk. So that's why they were not in the expense. They were actually what we would consider an in-kind donation. That's why they were listed down there, just so that we're clear. But also, I just want to say it was a pleasure working with the fundraising committee, and it was fun. I don't know about y'all, but I mean, I almost lost my mind, but it was fun.
Thank you, Tom, for all your help on the Zoom
Yes,
part of it
yes.
too.
Thank you, Tom. Yes.
Don, you have your hand up and are recognized.
Yeah, again, along with everyone else, congratulations to the committee on a job well done. The one thing I would ask is if we can get a count of how many people ultimately bought tickets and participated on the event, because I think what we have noticed is the downside of the online things is that we may net a greater portion of money, but we don't have quite the number of bodies participating, which we lose that sort of outreach part of it. So hopefully we'll get to go back to doing live things soon and being more visible. But again, congratulations on a job well done.
Don, let me answer your question. So there's actually a whole spreadsheet, but I didn't want to present the whole spreadsheet. One, because it has people's addresses, personal email addresses, like that. So we do have an accounting of it. I just didn't feel comfortable presenting that to the entire committee in a, just like that. But we do have that for you. And I could send it maybe to Jeanette to disperse to the committee once I figure out how to just see names or just get an accounting for it, but it's included. In fact, let me see if I can pull it up. Give me a second.
I think he's wanting just the number.
Number, yeah.
So
Yeah, he just wants a number.
Because didn't I give you that, the poll report or the participation report?
Yeah,
I
have the whole document. I just had to.
Yeah.
I have like 930
I was about to bring it up, but if you got it.
Actually, pull it up and then let me just see. Oh, here we go. Pull it up, Tom, if you can. Two different screens.
That time was just, Don was asking for a number, 5 people.
Yeah, just a number.
So I have where it says ticketed guests. I'm not sure how Tom has that. I got 65 ticketed guests.
That was the number. That was, it was within the 60s. Yeah.
Yeah. That bought tickets to the event.
Right. So Don's right. It is a smaller number than we would have at a crab feed.
Oh, definitely. Yes.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So can we move on to the retreat committee? Leilani?
Yep. So we did send out a survey last meeting. I have a really low response rate on it. Really only 5 responses. So I'm going to put it in the chat right now. If anyone else wants to fill it out. I think the responses that we got were pretty spread out, even in terms of the maximum time that they would be willing to participate. So I think what we'd like to do if the retreat committee is plan a retreat that people would actually attend, because that would defeat the point to plan an event and have low participation, also wouldn't justify whatever budget we end up asking for. So would really appreciate if you take 2 minutes and fill out that survey so we can get a better idea of the topics to cover. And we'll be meeting again next month.
Okay, thank you. Audit Committee, Bridget Hunley. Do you have a report?
I don't see her on.
I don't think she's here. And that Headquarters Committee. So, well, COVID Committee. Do you have a
All
report?
right, yeah, real quick here. So Solano County is the only county in the Bay Area still in the red tier.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, and just to put this in perspective, 11% of the California population is still in the red, which is substantial tier. 39% are in the moderate, and 43% are in the minimal tier. So you kind of have to ask, what's going on here? You know, why are we so behind the 8 balls? So Solano County has the lowest fully vaccinated rate in the Bay Area at 39%. There was an article that had quotes from our Solano County Public Health Officer, Bella Matjes, sort of trying to explain why Solano County is behind. And he says that it's because Solano County, it's their higher COVID infection rate is being a bridge county. That is half rural and half urban. By the way, people in southern Solano County were vaccinated at a much higher rate than the northern. However, the data at the state level really disputes what he says. It's true that except for Solano County, the rest of the 9 counties in the red tier are rural. So there's 9 in the red plus us. But the majority of rural counties are actually in the moderate tier, and several of them are in the minimum tier. So basically that explanation doesn't fly. And so we're going to look into this more to try to figure out, you know, what accounts for this. Tomorrow there's a meeting of the Solano Health Committee, and I'm going to go to that and see if they can throw some light on this. Okay, that's a cute sound. That's all I have.
Okay, thank
So
you.
Lynette,
Yeah.
hold on, Lynette. Hold on, Madam Chair. Lynette had her hand up, then Jeanette, then Bonnie.
Thank you for that report. Just anecdotally, as a classroom teacher, as a school teacher, these families in Vallejo, and I can only speak for like the Hogan families, which is the east side of Vallejo, they have had more parties than the legal law should allow. And my students have had birthday parties with other kids from the classroom of 10 and 15 students coming together for a party, birthday party. And then their families also come, and little sisters and brothers. And I actually had a student in my classroom whose father was exposed. Luckily, I wasn't there 2 of the days that he was, you know, at school, but they quarantined, but didn't notify the school that the dad had COVID. So we're having all these anecdotal pieces, and the district, you know, that's the hub of where the outbreak, I believe, is coming from. Our parents and students that are allowing for these parties to go on.
Well, that's interesting. Lynette, can I contact you later if I need to follow up on that?
Yes, please come on in. I mean, please contact me. I'll put my number in the chat. But I think if they start doing some research on what's happening in school districts, because they don't need to tell you who, but if they can say there was an outbreak at this school or that school, the age group, that I think that will be beneficial. And then they don't understand that their pod is the people that live in their house, not because I'm related to you. So they're going to Sacramento and coming home. They're going to Mexico and coming home. They're going to LA and coming home, and then they're coming to school.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for that.
Okay, I think we had a couple more questions.
Yes, Jeanette, it was Jeanette.
I was just going to say there was a big article in the San Francisco Chronicle this week, and it quotes Bella Machos several times, and they say in that article, he says it's the education level of the parents. And so before you go do other research, you should look at that article, because it clearly he doesn't say anything about bridge or rural or urban. It's all about education levels. So
The education levels of the parents.
yes, and Solano County was the lowest in the area, and so therefore that was the reason.
Okay, thanks,
Bonnie,
Jeanette.
Bonnie's hand is up.
Yeah, hi. I just wanted to say I also serve on the board of the Solano County Medical Society. And we had a discussion about this at our meeting last week. So some of the solutions are going through faith communities, because people tend to trust their faith communities, like for instance, the Catholic communities and the Latinx population. And also, and people trust their doctors. So I think doctors have to speak up more. And, we discussed that. So we had written a letter to the Board of Supervisors about mask wearing. And I think we need to really promote letters to doctors and letters to the editors about how important it is to get vaccinated. Thanks.
Okay, thank you for that, Bonnie. Much appreciated.
Steve Young, you're recognized.
So we've, in Benicia, we have like 75% vaccinated, which is great. But the last 25% are, sort of hardcore resistors who are not going to vaccinate. I'm convinced at this point. We did a vaccination event this week. We had doses, we had 400 doses. We had 15 people show up. We're doing something in the industrial park tomorrow for industrial park workers. We have another 400 doses. We had 3 people show up. So I'm sort of coming to the conclusion that we've gone as far as we can go with the vaccination outreach, and that, maybe it's a situation where those people who are refusing to get vaccinations, they're going to end up getting COVID, and most of them will be fine. And they're younger. But maybe that's ultimately the way we get to herd immunity, is we've got 75% vaccinated and the other 25% are unfortunately going to get the disease and become immune as a result of getting the disease. And it seems like kind of a hard way to get to where you want to go, but that's sort of where I'm thinking. I'm willing to be talked out of this position, but I just sort of wanted to throw that out there as sort of a alternative analysis, if you will.
Okay, thank
Nancy,
you.
I'm sorry, Nancy Petrosky has her hand up. Michelle.
Yeah, thank you. I hope you can hear me okay. I just wanted to respond to the mention of the article blaming the problem on the education level of the parents. I'm sorry, but that's blaming the victim. And in public health, we don't do that. In public health, you aim your interventions at the educational level of the population that you have in front of you. And so if the county has not been responsive to adjusting their methods of reaching people to actually do a good job of reaching the people who need it most, then that's on the county. But to blame the victim, to blame the people for their education level, I think that's outrageous. And so I just want to kind of put that on the radar. It's easy to kind of think about, oh, well, yeah, they're not kind of understanding, but that's the job of the county and the public health department to figure out how to access and how to reach effectively. Thanks.
Okay, thanks. So I think any other comments and advice, you could contact Michelle and the COVID committee. So
Margie, could I just say one more thing, Margie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, which I left out of. The important thing, okay, so Benicia's fine, it's 75-25, but the fact is if it's down at 39%, it means a lot of people are they can still get the variants And so the problem's just really going to continue on. So it really is critical that we get to these people. And I completely agree with Nancy. So I'm going to be bringing that up tomorrow.
Pat Toth Smith, hand is up.
Okay, I just wanted to say that I help facilitate podcasts for young people, the Kelly Young Voter Report, and I tried for 2 weeks to get somebody from the Public Health Department to appear on the show with a bunch of young students to answer questions about vaccines or COVIDs for Solano County, and I never received a response back at all. And I sent multiple emails. I called multiple times. I even called another department in the county to try to get through because I couldn't get through. And I got no response. We had to just drop the whole idea. And this would have been high school students and college students would have been on. It would have gone out to a bunch of different social media sites and groups. And so I just wonder how many other people have tried to get a county medical person to appear to answer questions. I just think it's a major failing in our county. I even considered going to another county to see if their health director would come on the podcast show. And so that's all I want to say about our terrible county.
Can I make a quick statement?
Hold, you haven't been recognized, Manveer, and
Got
there
it.
was a hand up before you. So, Madam Chair, do you want to continue with these last two comments?
So, okay, 2 more comments and then we'll move on.
Okay, so Don Lowry, you're recognized, and then after Don, you can go ahead and speak, Manveer.
Yeah, I would say one of the things I was going to say on a slightly different tangent is that one of the things that is not receiving a boost in funding from the governor's May revise is our county public health programs. And that's one of those things that perhaps we could reach out to the governor's office and our legislatures to encourage that funding go to our public health departments statewide to bolster them for the next pandemic or public health crisis.
Okay, and Manveer?
I wanted to talk about the county's health director. So I also host a podcast, but I was able to get in touch with Dr. Matias and interview him about his pandemic response. And I had no trouble getting in touch with him. So I just wanted to put that out there that I tried the same thing and I was successful in reaching the county health director for a comment on a podcast. And I talked to him about the pandemic and what was going on in the county. And this was about 2 months ago, 2 or 3 months ago now. So that's published, that's online if you want to go check it out.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we're going to move on to new business. AB 279, Leilani.
Hi, folks. Thanks for listening earlier when former Assemblymember Yamada and Rusko Kiangyang came on and spoke about AB 279. I just wanted to start with a quote from Pearl S. Buck, who said, "Our society must make it right and possible for old people not to fear the young or be deserted by them. For the test of a civilization is the way that it cares for its helpless members," especially now during a pandemic. You know, the people who are, well, we've all been struggling, but I would say especially senior citizens in senior care facilities, home prices are largely unaffected. If anything, they've been rising. And so there's an opportunity for seniors to become displaced. So there's already been support for this bill, but us passing a resolution just is another hat that we're throwing in the ring, I guess we would say, of support. So I would like to ask, I guess I can make a motion. Can I move that we adopt the resolution in support of AB 279?
Don Lowry, second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we adopt the resolution. Is there any discussion?
My hand's up, Margie.
There's
Yeah.
several hands up.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Michelle, you're being recognized.
Is my hand up? Yeah.
No, yours is mixed in your colors on that. But yes, I see it now. Okay,
thank you.
Michelle, Paula, Lynette, and let's see who else is here. Go ahead, Michelle, recognized through the chair.
Thanks. I totally support this. If it's just a resolution, that's fine. But if they're trying to put it into policy or law, I'd like to know the actual effects of this and how it would be implemented.
Okay.
Paula?
I'm just wondering, have we seen the resolution that we're being asked to approve?
Did
Yes.
everyone hear her? Did you hear?
She wants to know if we got the resolution, but it was sent.
Okay, I just missed it, then I'll find it. Thank you.
Okay. Lynette, been recognized through the chair.
Yes, I didn't look at the resolution, but I'm in support. I mean, it's already supported by the state party. So I think this is somewhat redundant for the central committee to do it. So, I'm not speaking, against, but just know the party has already supported it. It has the stamp of the legislators who are the authors have been noticed that the state party support it. And I'm not quite sure why we need to do the resolution. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, let's move to the vote.
Young's hand up.
I see.
Young, I don't.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
It's better to look at the participant list than to try to look at the pictures.
Okay, Mayor Young, you're recognized.
I was just going to support what Lynette said, that it might be superfluous, except for the fact that I think it might be more effective to send a resolution directly to Grayson and Dodd, since there are representatives at the state, and they may be more responsive to something from Solano Democrats than a statewide issue. That was my comment. Thanks.
Paula, is your hand up from before? Okay,
No,
I don't see it
sorry.
anymore. Tom.
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to make sure that I did it right. So are we voting to support AB 279? Is that the wording we're using?
Or are we supporting the resolution? So that's the difference.
So the resolution that we were sent earlier this week.
And the resolution is in support of AB 279?
Resolution supporting California Assembly Bill 279 to protect the health and safety of our seniors during the COVID-19 pandemic at senior care facilities.
Bonnie's hand is up. Did you call for the vote?
I just had a question. I'm not sure if it's in order. I don't know if it's out.
Go ahead, Bonnie. You've been
I
recognized.
just wanted to ask, so, I'm curious. I mean, I personally support this, but what is the opposition? I mean, what is is it really highly opposed? Is that why we're writing a resolution, or is it more just to write I mean, I'm just wondering, I certainly support it, but I'm just curious, if it's highly opposed and that's why we're writing the resolution. I'm just curious what the purpose of it is.
Just to give it additional support from our central committee, as in addition to the state party.
Okay, Lynette, is that your hand?
Yeah, my hand's up again. So let me see, how can I say this? When this bill came before the legislative committee for the state party at the convention, there was no opposition. There were only people speaking in support of the particular bill. And so I think what Young said, that maybe because we already know it's out of the assembly, it's heading to Senate. So the best, I mean, I would say, let's support the resolution, but send it to our senator, who is Dodd. That would be my caveat to that. Because he's the only one that can vote for it for us.
I see no more hands raised, Margie.
Okay. So the motion was to support the resolution supporting Assembly Bill 279. So do you have the poll ready, Information Officer?
Has everyone had a chance to vote? Not, I got vote. Coming up on a minute. Poll is ending. 3, 2, 1.
Okay. The motion passes. So next on the agenda is a Pride proclamation, which was also sent to everyone ahead of the meeting. Thomas Bilbo.
Yes. Excuse me. Sorry, I gotta put my cat down. So yeah, the proclamation that was sent was the template that we gave to all of the cities and organizations in Solano County that can do these types of things. And it'll be stylized with Margie's name and the committee's name on our letterhead. But it's just in support and recognizing the past year as being difficult for the LGBTQ community, specifically our trans brothers and sisters and people of color in the LGBTQ community that have had a harder time getting adequate health care and having their needs met in the pandemic. So we wanted to call that out in our resolution, but also recognize the other things that make it Pride Month special to us because of what happened over 50 years ago, and even more than that, whenever you look at the things that happened in Compton, in the LA area, as well as also in San Francisco prior to the Stonewall riots. So that's pretty much what is there for the resolution. If you have any questions, please ask or whatever. And I also asked if Jonathan Cook could speak to this as the Pride Center director.
Jonathan.
Oh, sorry, I was waiting to be recognized. Yes, in support of this, we have now reached 7 of the cities, all of the cities in Solano County. It was at 6 last year. We're hoping to be able to get the Pride proclamation in addition to the Pride flag raised in several cities, including Fairfield and Vacaville. So if you're a resident in those cities or have friends who live or shop in those cities, please send letters of support, email, call, activate your friends to be more involved, and we appreciate your efforts. Thank you.
Okay.
Michelle?
Go ahead.
Michelle?
Yeah, so I'm in support of this, but this is a formatting question. My understanding is that you're only allowed to have 2 or 3 whereas in a resolution, and I would defer to people who know about that.
This is a proclamation, not
a
resolution.
Oh, okay. So you're not limited then, Tom?
Haven't been for years.
Okay. Okay, just want to make sure it doesn't get booted back.
We get wordy.
Okay.
And this is not going to the state. The state will do their own thing. This is just from this committee in Solano County.
To agencies.
Well, it'll be released to the papers and everything else so that people will know that the Democrats of Solano County stand with the LGBTQ community.
Okay.
And I would also like to add that we should make some sort of, I know this isn't on the agenda and I just realized that, but Juneteenth is coming up and that should have been on our agenda as well, as some sort of recognition. But I was looking out for this first. So I think we should, I don't know, maybe we can take that up in executive board.
Okay, is there a motion to accept?
I would like to make a motion.
I second.
So it's been moved and seconded that we accept the Pride Proclamation, that we back the Pride Proclamation. Is there any discussion? Seeing none.
Shall I launch the poll?
Go to a vote, yes.
Okay, it looks like everyone has voted. Okay. It passes. Thank you very much from the citizens, the LGBTQ citizens of Solano County.
Leilani's hand is up.
Yeah, sorry, I just wanted to ask for clarification as to the actions that you wanted the individual members to take. I know we voted in support, but I just wanted to make sure that I was clear on the actions that you wanted the individuals to take in support.
Oh, man, through the chair.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So what we're asking you to do is to bring me coffee. No, I'm joking. No, but for this, just recognize for the LGBTQ community in Solano County, because that we have had a hard time here in this county with the fact that Solano County was the only Bay Area county to vote yes on Prop 8. Whenever we had the momentous occasion of having Barack Obama elected president, there was a lot of us in this county that, and also in California, that were both happy and sad at that time whenever the proposition to restrict marriage rights was passed. The other thing is you can just bring awareness to those around you about the month. You can also join us there's going to be a Pride in the Park in Vacaville on the 13th, Jonathan? Yep. And then also we are having a BYOP picnic in, sorry, Kat, no, in Alden Park on Mare Island on the 27th. So allies and everyone are welcome. And also we have the Board of Supervisors, as Jonathan just put in there, they are issuing their proclamation on the 8th. Flag raising in Vallejo is at 10:30 on the 1st, and then flag raising in Benicia is on the 1st at 3 o'clock at Benicia City Hall. They will be flying it for the month. And it's, yes, it is Alden Park on Mare Island, Joe. Oh, never mind, I just realized what you said. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. And there will be other things going on too. the 30th is going to be Give Out Day for Solano Pride Center. So you can give and help us to achieve a goal of being like the third in our region in the top 3 to get any donations, and that's any amount. It can be $1, it can be $5, or it can be $100 through the Horizons Foundation Give Out Day. And with that, we also get a prize of extra money from them for being in the top 3. So that would be helpful. So that's pretty much, there we go.
Okay, and people can contact you for more information
Yeah,
or
more-
Jonathan.
Yep, and they can also look at solanopride.org and our website, Facebook. I mean.
Okay, good. Okay, next we have the convention. The main thing I wanted to say is the convention was recorded, and anybody who missed anything can take a look at that. And the convention, I know that there's glitches, but I think all in all, they did a pretty good job. And they're making a training bank that may be useful to us in the future. They haven't quite put it all together, but some of the trainings were excellent. And they're going to be accessible to us very soon. And I know Michelle had a question about the convention, and I think maybe Jeanette answered her, or someone, that you can contact the state party if there's a mistake with your ballot.
Right.
Okay.
Now, I will say Emma is extremely responsive. If you contact her or Unique, they're really good about getting back to you on that. It may have just been a typo. I never got my convention badge.
So I actually emailed Emma and she never did get back to me. So my concern, you're saying just deal with it as an individual. I already tried that route, and I'm just worried that other people's ballots are also whatever. So
Okay.
I don't
Well,
know.
Michelle, send me an email and I'll ask. I'll ask next time there's a chairs meeting.
And Lynette's hands up.
Okay, you were not to send your questions about your balloting to Emma. It was to Gail, and I don't remember her name. She was the person that was in charge of the election, and she and the company fixed if you had a wrong ballot. So the contact for this was not Emma at the party, so that's probably why you didn't hear back from her. I will see if I can find the person's name. Was Gail somebody? I can't remember. She was the elections chair for this for the convention, and she can help you because they sent that out multiple times. If you're having problems, if you did not receive your ballot, if your ballot is incorrect, all of that was sent multiple times through the month of voting. And so I'll look back in my old emails to see if I can find it for you and send it to you. Okay.
That'd be great. Thanks.
Yeah. So Emma was not the person that was going to respond because they hired a company to work with our elections chair to make sure staff was not involved in the election. So the person that could help you would be, oh, there it is. Somebody just put, thanks, Jonathan. It's in the chat, and I'll see if I can get a contact number for her for you. Okay.
That'd be great.
Yeah. So yeah, multiple times, when they were reminding people to vote, if you haven't voted, please vote. Oh, he just put it in. It's GL. It's in the chat.
Got it.
From Jonathan. Those were multiple emails. If you're having difficulty with voting, if you haven't paid your dues, all of those things came out multiple times over the month to encourage people to vote and if there were a problem. So he has put her name, her email, and a phone number.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Got it.
So you would not have gotten any help from the staff because this was when it's a big election year like this, they want to make sure that staff itself is not involved. And that's why they hired a company to run the election. So I'm sad that you were not able to have the opportunity to vote. And if you did not receive a ballot, they're like, if you haven't received your ballot by this date, please contact us. If we could only use the email that you have in the database. So it might have gone to an email that you used 5 years ago. So all of those things are doing it. And then whatever your address may have been, because it was interesting, there were people in Roanoke Park that, like, on one side of the street, they were region 2, but on the other side of the street, they were the other region. So those are some of the things. So thanks, Jonathan, for that support there. Okay, does that help?
It does. That's good. Thank you.
Okay.
I don't see any more hands in the.
Okay, so moving on to old business, stop the recall. A lot of the clubs are signing on with the resolution to stop the recall. And I just want to remind everyone, or make sure everyone knows. So they've collected enough signatures, but there's a filing period, a grace period that people can withdraw their signatures. And that's why they haven't set a date yet, is because they're waiting for the close of the period where they signatures can be collected. And I've forgotten the date. It's June 15th or something like that. Maybe Lynette knows. So they're waiting for that before they set up the date. And then they're planning to set it up in November. And in November, there's 2 parts to the ballot. And the first part is recall the governor, and we are all voting no, and we're getting everyone to vote no. And then there's who do you want to replace the governor, and we all are not supposed to vote for anyone. So that's what's going on right now. And the other thing is we're trying to get all our local, the state party wants the local elected officials to sign on that they are against the recall. And so a lot of our local officials have signed on, and some of our local officials I haven't known how to get a hold of. So I'm going to be asking the e-board and about some of these addresses. So that's what I have on the recall.
Madam Chair, there was a question in the chat from Joe. He's asking, is there a list? Can we get a list of those that have actually signed on? Are you talking about elected officials, Joe?
Yeah,
correct. If they're not signed on, I think that, we all should team up and get them on board.
Yeah. So I actually don't have the list of who signed on. I just have the list of who they want me to contact. So maybe I'll send the list to you guys to help me out.
That would be great. Send us a list, and then they can get bombarded from the Solano County Central Committee.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. And all the clubs. Let's do it.
And all the clubs.
Tom, your hands up. Tom's hands up, and then Jeanette.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, why don't we put it on our socials and on everything, and publicly shame them into supporting our governor. I mean, it's a little harsh.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I don't think we need to do that until we've asked them. So
come on, Margie.
Make sure that they know about it. So
Jeanette.
So as the elected official at City Council, I filled it out and I submitted it. So then I don't want to get 20 emails saying, did you support it? So we should find out first who has that repository of who supported him. So then we can know that, and then we can contact the others. I think that would be the best way to do it.
So nobody called Jeanette.
Yeah.
Or Aaron. Or John. Or Steve or Monica.
Yeah, actually everyone on the Central Committee, I did know how to get hold of them. So it's some of the other elected officials. I didn't have contact information. I'm going to bring it up at the e-board, so maybe we can finish this up pretty quick.
Okay, Tom, your hand's up.
I was just gonna say,
You're muted. I'm sorry.
I can't hear you.
Girl, you muted me.
It was not. I'm sorry. It was not intentional. It really was.
I'm taking your crown away. Anyway, So I was going to say, maybe going on the positive aspect, if the elected officials are okay, we promote them and we run an ad in the paper saying, you know, these officials in Solano County, and list all of our names on the committee and everything else, saying we say no to recalling our governor who has seen us through a pandemic, who has protected us, who has, you know, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I think that's a positive aspect as opposed to the punitive one. So we run that first and then we run the punitive one.
Does anyone read the newspaper anymore?
Okay, social media then.
What's a newspaper?
Okay, so moving along, AB 650, we passed last month, and the Central Committee wanted to add public health into this into the bill, and I looked into it, and the public health is actually separate. So the bill is really about these private health companies that are making a profit. And the bill is to distribute the profit among the workers rather than just the CEOs and stockholders and so forth. And public health is a whole separate thing. It's paid by taxpayers. And so it doesn't really fit with that bill. So we can keep that in mind, that we would like to have our public health paid well, but it actually doesn't fit with AB 650. So I just want to make that report. Well, I think Young Dems are not making a report tonight. So we have some announcements. May is Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. And we were going to close, recognizing Asian Pacific Americans. So I was going to read this. We closed tonight's meeting recognizing that since 1992, May of each year commemorates Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, a time to reflect on both contributions as well as concerns of this diverse, complex, and growing set of communities. This month takes deeper urgency given the exponential rise in vicious anti-AAPI hate incidents and ugly hate crimes reported throughout the country and right here in our own region. Let's all work to stop AAPI hate and all hate as we strive together for a more perfect union. And I actually asked, I knew that Assembly member or former Assembly member Yamada would be here this evening, and when she asked to come, I asked her if she would help with the closing remarks. Moving on to the other announcements. June is Pride Month, which Thomas and Jonathan talked about, and Juneteenth is Saturday, the 19th of June, and next month, we will be having a special commemoration during our Central Committee meeting. You will really like to come. And are there any other announcements?
Well, there are hands up.
Yeah, there are several hands up. I saw Joe's hand, then Michelle, Jeanette, and then I have an announcement too.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to take away from the AAPI Stop the Hate closing, but this morning, there was eight transit workers, union transit workers down in San Jose were brutally murdered. And I don't think that we should ever become desensitized to these more and more often events happening. So I would also like to, end in remembrance of the 8 transit workers that died this morning.
Second.
Been moved.
Any other announcements?
Jeanette and then Michelle, and then I had an announcement.
I just wanted to say congratulations to Alex Matthias, because I saw his name in the paper, as being appointed to the redistricting commission. So if we have issues and concerns with redistricting, which is so important, you can talk to Alex and hopefully he can do his magic on the committee.
And don't forget Tiffany, she's on the committee too.
Oh, and great Tiffany. I didn't see her name in the paper.
Maybe that's a good
Appointed
one to announce.
appointed by Hannigan. Jeanette, oh, is that what you want to say, Jeanette? Your hand was up. That's it that I see.
No, my
Michelle?
hand's up. Yeah, sorry.
Michelle.
I know everyone's really tired, but we didn't respond or figure out a course of action for responding to Anna Petroa being censored in Fairfield. Remember we were going to talk about that? It was discussed at the beginning of the meeting. Anna came on a public announcement and said that she's being censored by school board members in Fairfield.
Well, yes, that came up in her report.
Right.
She
And
didn't
we
actually ask us to do anything.
No, but there was really strong response to that, you know, that there's something very wrong with that, and that a response, I am suggesting that a response from this committee, or at least some sort of email discussion or something, because I know everyone's very tired, happens. So we respond to that, because this is not okay to have the usual Republican gang up on, you know, the Democrat / person of color, because they're talking about things they don't like to hear.
Madam,
May I say something?
Madam Chair, this is Lynette, your parliamentarian. That was not put on the agenda, but we can refer it to the executive board, which will be meeting in a week, so that we can come up with a course of action. And if Anna can let us know when our next board meeting is, so that we can maybe have a response by then.
Yes, this is Anna Patera speaking. Our next board meeting is tomorrow, tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Before you make a decision, I think it'd be fair for you to hear both sides, because it seems as though you just heard my side coming and saying that I was censured. I think it'd be before the board makes a decision as to how you want to have a proclamation. If so, I think it'd be prudent to hear both sides of the issue. Last week, they censured me, but they weren't clear. And so I think it'd be prudent to hear both sides before you make a decision. That way, that absolves that keeps the central committee, keeps you objective and not being, you know, just hearing one side. I think that would be fair.
Excellent idea. So I know our chair will contact you and whoever you think would be pertinent for the opposite side, and we'll look at it at the executive board. But thank you, Anna.
So will they ask to attend the executive board?
Anybody can attend, and Tom will send out the notice. Margie?
Okay.
No.
So we'll discuss that at the e-board meeting. All right.
Hello, I had my announcement.
Oh, Tiffany.
Tiffany, yeah.
Sorry. So just kind of piggybacking off of what Jeanette said. So myself and Alex Matthias and Cassandra James are representing District 1 for the redistricting. We will be hosting a few public that we have to do in reference to that. And I'm going to go ahead and drop the Redistricting Solano website there. So if you have any questions, concerns, as we continue to move through this very arduous process, please feel free to contact any one of us. It also gives a listing of who those representatives are for each of the districts. So we have another meeting coming up this week where we're going to kind of find out, you know, how we're going to conduct the public forums and things of that nature. So just to let you know, if you are in District 1 or District 2, District 3, 4, 5, we will be contacting you guys individually as a clubs or as a central committee to get some feedback from you, as well as hear the presentation that we have. So I just want to put that out there. The information is in the chat.
Okay, thank you, and congratulations, Tiffany. All right, any more announcements?
Madam Chair?
Yes, this is Vernell. I just want to mention that Benicia's Black Lives Matter organization is having an inaugural Juneteenth celebration on June 19th.
And then, Madam Chair, I just want to let everyone know that the City of Vallejo will be raising a flag in commemoration of Juneteenth at the Memorial Park behind City Hall. That's part of Martin Luther King Plaza on the 1st, and I believe that's at 11. So if you want to come and be part of that, it's right after the pride raising ceremony. So you just have to take a short walk and you can be part of 2 events for the price of 1 ride.
Okay. All right, thanks. Any more announcements?
Madam Chair, I move to adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that adjourn in memory of the 8 transit workers who were murdered this morning in San Jose and recognizing the Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month.
Okay.
We're over, right?
Yeah, hold on.
So you're trying to
wait, we have the vote.
Need to vote or
Okay.
maybe we'll raise our hands this time.
You can vote by hitting
There
leave.
we go.
Jeanette, you're so awesome. I love the hell out of you, girl.
And just so you know,
Okay.
the Zoom cut off the part I added about the STA workers or VTA workers.
Oh.
But it's part of the recorded record. If you're gonna have a recorded record, I guess you know.
Okay, thank you. The meeting is adjourned. And we have our executive board on the 2nd of June at 5.
Okay. Happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day.
Yeah, to our vets.
All right.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Night.
Have a great night.
Okay. It passed. We're adjourned.
We have to make sure.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.